Hey, Facebook. Guess what's funny? I'm not even on Facebook right now. But because I was hit with a message that I feel like I have to share, I'm going to go ahead and record this. I do miss y'all. It has been nice, though, guys, to remove myself from social media for Lent. I highly suggest everybody at some point take some time to themselves and remove themselves from not just social media, like just all outlets of whatever, just to self-reflect and get some positivity from outside the world. Anyhow, guys, I got to record this because I don't want to lose what is fresh on my heart and fresh on my mind. And it's so funny. It's almost April. And I thought about it, and exactly a year ago is when I started doing the videos. I did a video about DMX dying with no intentions of ever recording another video again. And here I am a year later, still making videos, still feeling like I have messages that come to me that I have to get out to the people, whether it be one person, two people, 200 of y'all. I don't know. They come to me, and I feel like I have to share them, just like this message. Which y'all are probably gonna laugh at me because, guys, I get some of the biggest life lessons out of the most simple things. And I know sometimes I tell myself, like, how did you get all that out of that? But y'all, it's God, it's wisdom. It's him just constantly giving me lessons. Like the baseball field message where I was looking at a baseball field and thinking about a baseball field. And then I just thought about how all that applies to life. Like, I get the biggest life lessons out of the most simple things, but I don't know. I have to share them with you guys. So join me in my craziness. Today, our message is coming from my kitchen table. What does this have to do with anything? Okay, let's play Where's Waldo. What do we see at this table that's different? Besides, okay, the two end chairs, they go together and they're not the same as the other ones. Anybody see it yet? The chair on the left is not the same as the chair on the right. Nikki, what does that have to do with anything? Let me tell y'all. So, this kitchen table, by the way, I bought on Craigslist probably about 8 years ago. In between moves, I had gotten rid of all my furniture and I needed a table and I didn't want to go invest in new furniture before I had built my house. So anyways, bought this table on Craigslist, refinished it. For those who don't know, I love refinishing furniture. So anyhow, bought this table, have loved this table. When I moved to this house, I actually didn't get rid of it because it just fit the space so perfect. So not that long ago, one of my chairs had finally busted out the back head. And this is the material. This is rattan, whatever you want to call it, depends where you're from. The rattan had busted out and I tried to buy a repair kit. I tried to fix it because I was determined I didn't want to get rid of this table because, guys, to buy a new table, one is money, and two, the space, it fits so perfect. Nowadays, to buy a table, believe me, I've measured and I went to countless furniture stores. You get a super long table or you get a circular table, and neither of those would fit this space. So anyhow, I know, why are we talking about your table still? I'm getting there, y'all. So anyway, I'm like, I gotta find a chair to fit this thing. The table, it's perfect. So I go online, I'm looking on Craigslist, I'm looking at Facebook Marketplace, trying to find somebody selling one of these old school rattan chairs, and I can refinish it as long as it's in the same family, it'll fit. And then it dawned on me, silly, you got one of those chairs upstairs in your frog that Sierra was sitting at for virtual learning. Now, I'm gonna show y'all that chair. That chair is this chair. As you can see, yes, it is a little different from the others. That chair, guys, 19 years ago when I bought my first house in downtown Hampton, 2003, was sitting in the middle of the living room of the house. Now, keep in mind, the house was built in 1895. Silly me, call it superstitious, call it stupid, call it what you want. I said, okay, nothing else was left in this house. No furniture is in this house but this one chair. And I felt like I couldn't get rid of that chair or else the spirits may come and haunt me. So I refused to get rid of that chair. So that was the first piece of furniture I ever refinished, y'all, was this chair. Because it was ugly. It was brown. It had maroon seating. I said, well, look here, spirit. If you want to keep this chair around here, the least you're going to let me do is make it fit in with the house. Because this ain't fitting. But I'll let you stay. But you're going to get a facelift. So I refinished the chair. And then I guess, I don't know, I became attached to the chair. Like, I felt like wherever I went, the chair had to go. I don't know, y'all. Crazy. So I ended up moving a few times, and that chair has gone with me everywhere I have went. And it's usually just put up in an office somewhere. Like, I pay it no mind. It just goes in a corner somewhere. So again, I'm thinking, you have a rattan chair upstairs. So sure enough, I bring it downstairs and I'm like, okay, this can work. It doesn't match perfectly, but it fits in enough that most people would not notice that it's different. Why am I saying this? Because let me tell y'all, 19 years ago, I never would have thought that chair was going to become a blessing in my life. At the time, it was a burden. It was an ugly chair. I didn't want the chair, but I thought Beulah May or whomever had that house whenever back in the day was going to haunt my little butt if I got rid of the chair. So it was a burden. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep your chair. I'm going to keep your chair, and I'm going to make sure I take care of this chair because it was left here for a reason. Little did I know the reason was going to be 19 years later, I would need that chair. Why am I saying this? Because God gave me the big picture and the lesson in this. Things that we see sometimes as burdens will eventually become our blessings. There are going to be things, there are going to be people. And a lot of times, guys, it's people that come into your life as what you see as a burden. Like, why am I being given this problem child? Why am I being given this person who needs my assistance when I don't feel like I have the assistance to give right now? Why? Things that come into your life that you inherit, that you don't feel you should inherit, but you do. Little do you know, it could be 9 hours, 9 days, 9 months, 9 years, or 19 years later that burden becomes a big blessing. And I know you're saying, Nikki, it's just the kitchen chair. How big of a blessing is it? Y'all, that was like $1,000 blessing. Because if I had to go buy a new table now, I don't know about y'all, but we're going to get a decent piece of furniture, and it's going to cost us some money. So that little chair saved me a nice little penny pinch of money. Not only that, I have the pride and joy of being the person who finished that chair and refinishing this table. And this little table has brought so much joy in this house. A lot of laughter, a lot of love is gathered here. As you can see the sign behind me, this is our happy place. And everybody who knows me and who visits me can tell you 105 is the happy place. And we're always gathered in the kitchen. I refinished this table 2 years ago now, when COVID started, for my daughter and me, because we were stuck in this house. And I made the tabletop a chalkboard table. And I wrote the message, burdens become blessings. Board table, always fun. Every time people come over, I'm left with a bunch of crazy messages on my table. Y'all know who you are. But guys, the whole point of the message is this. You don't see your future. You don't know your future. But there is a person who does. What we feel could be a hindrance, a burden, weight to carry that we don't want to, very well could be one of your biggest blessings. So be careful, be mindful of what we just toss out because we don't feel like being burdened. Okay? That is what I gathered out of this kitchen chair as I was refinishing the seats and stuff, because I had to obviously get all the seats to match. But anyhow, burdens can become blessings, and it may take time, 19 years, for me to realize my blessing in that chair. But understand that. Don't just toss things out quickly. Don't just toss people away quickly. Because sometimes they may be exactly what you need at a different phase or a different chapter or a different season in your life. And that's my takeaway. Yes, from a kitchen chair. Guys, it's 2022. I hope you guys had watched my New Year's video. There's a lot we need to talk about this year. And I'm really, really hoping that I have the courage to keep these videos going, and that if it's just one or two of you, that it helps, that the message is received, because the message hit me, and I was so grateful. I can't talk today, y'all. So grateful to just receive that lesson out of this kitchen chair, and to be reminded that in His time, the blessings will be revealed. And like I said, it could be a thing, an object, a person, or it could even be a season you're going through. Understand that it may be a burden to you now. It may not feel good now. It may not be the best thing in the world for you that you think right now. But eventually, the blessing will come. It will always come. Talk to you guys later. Love y'all. Miss y'all.